Welcome, Esmer. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's such a pleasure to have you on. You're literally one of my favorite people to watch stream. I've been watching you on my journey, learning to trade. A little something about me is I do have a desire one day to stream, and I'm far from it. So, watching your journey and how you present yourself on camera when you're streaming is just very inspiring to me. So, I wanted you to know that. And I'm just going to hop in here today and let you introduce yourself, share a little bit about what you were doing before trading. I always love to hear about that and what got you into trading.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I've also been following your journey and I just love to see, how you built your confidence and started coming through your Instagram. So I love that and thank you so much for having me. So what I was doing before trading, I actually worked at a little fruit company called Apple. I did that for several years, and I was also running a side hustle at the same time. And that side hustle turned into my full-time job. I figured I couldn't do both for forever, so I really just decided to take the leap and go all in on my business. And I've been doing that now for 8 years. Still doing that, so that's still my little side hustle. Yeah, so I've been a business owner for the past 8-ish years.
Oh, that's really interesting. I love that you still have something else on the side. I think that really helps a lot of traders be successful when they don't only have trading, they have something else. So it's good to hear that. Um, So I'm just curious, what actually can you share with everybody? What do you trade? Do you have a specific instrument? Do you have a specific session? Like, what does your trading look like?
Yeah, so I actually started trading NQ and I recently made the switch just a few months ago actually to ES. And I only trade ES now. It's the only instrument I focus on. And I trade the New York Open. It's I'm on Pacific time, so I just found it's what works best for me. I can be up and do it before my son's even up for school. And I don't trade more than 2 hours. So by the time I'm done, I can just go on with my day and that's really the main thing with why I trade. It's for the freedom of time. So I trade New York Open for that and really just to be done and over with early in my day.
Oh, I love that. So we're similar. You have one instrument, one session, and you have a small trading window. I actually do Asia for a couple hours, 5 to 7 Pacific Standard Time. I haven't figured out how to get my daughter is a little younger. She's 15 months, so my mornings are a little chaotic, but I kind of look forward to shifting back to New York at some point.
Oh, girl, you're brave for the Asia session. I've
Yeah.
tried it and I have blown so many accounts trying to trade Asia session. I just cannot get the hang of it.
I mean, to your point, I haven't got a payout yet. So we
It's
bring
hard.
the
Asia is
people
hard.
on that have made it. So maybe that's something to consider. Well, like I mentioned earlier about your live streaming, I'm very fascinated with that. So I'd love to jump in and talk about that. How long have you been live streaming? And my curiosity is it intimidating? Is it motivating? Does it help you with your accountability? One of the things I've considered live streaming is to help with my accountability because I make a lot of stupid mistakes in private. So I was thinking maybe if I had people watching, I would not be like moving stops back and things of that nature. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I recently started live streaming and it's very intimidating, but it's very motivating at the same time. And it for sure exposes your decision making in real time. And that's actually one of the reasons why I started live stream is for that same reason is that I wouldn't be able to hide from my bad decisions. But I started slowly. I started really starting my Instagram was like my step into exposing my flaws. So I started that really as a way for me to show what the journey is like and also for me to have history and go back to my trades and see what I'm doing wrong. So it was a way for me to grow into a better trader. but I decided just to jump in recently. I figured that that is a way for me to get even better. I mean, you can edit a video for Instagram, take out the little mistakes that you made to a certain point, but live streaming really exposes you and puts your decision making for everyone to see. So that was really a way for me to grow. I really wanted to get real, I can't say really great because you can never really be an amazing trader. It's something you're just always going to be learning from. But just a way for me to show the journey again and what it looks like when you're in a trade and the emotions that you feel. So it's definitely helped me grow.
I
Yeah, for
love how
sure.
you're sharing, getting on Instagram exposes your flaws and you can like go back and see
For
your
sure.
growth. That's what I'm trying to kind of like follow in your steps. You were one of the first people I saw. It's starting to become more of a trend where people are being more open and honest, but I feel like you were one of the first that I saw doing that. Um, you mentioned about how something about your emotions, like it's exposing your emotions on camera or whatever. I find that watching you, you seem extremely calm. Like you're
Oh, wow.
very, like, I don't know. I think there must be some incredible morning routine you must have, or is there something you do before you start trading? Because you seem very in control of your emotions when you're streaming.
Well, that's good to hear because there's a lot going on in here for sure. But yeah, my routine is everything. And my trading didn't change until I changed my routine. So I take my routine super, super serious. And for me, it starts the day before because I'm on Pacific time. Really, my whole Monday through Friday has to revolve around me waking up for that morning bell. So being on Pacific time, I have to start my routine the night before. So I go to bed at 8:30, super, super early, just to make sure I get my 8 hours of sleep. Non-negotiable. I have to get 8 hours of sleep. And I wake up at 4:30. I get movement in as soon as I wake up. So I go on a walk. I call it my little gratitude walk. So I go on my walk, make sure to, give thanks for everything I have, set my intention for the day, and then come back in, have breakfast, do the whole pre-market prep, and say a little prayer before the market opens and hope for the best. So I really try to make sure that I go into the trading day super calm, super focused, and really with nothing on my mind besides trading. And that's really what has helped me with my emotions, with being disciplined, with just regulating all the things you feel when you're in a trade or wanting to get in a trade. So yeah, my routine is everything. My Monday through Friday just revolves around trading. I don't drink, I don't smoke. It's completely based around what my trading day is going to look like.
Wow, that's really inspiring. I love that you have a gratitude walk. I also have a gratitude walk.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
super
cool.
important. It really just
Yeah.
sets the mood for the day.
You have a bedtime. I've been working on my discipline lately. I've been implementing some new things,
I
getting in the
saw, I love
gym.
the journey
Yeah.
you're on.
So I'm trying to document that to see if it helps. I've heard both sides of, some people are like, oh, if you're more disciplined in trading or outside of trading, you'll be disciplined in trading. And then I've heard people say like they are they don't have anything to do with each other, but I think everybody's on their own journey. And I personally feel like discipline will help me in my trading. So I'll be documenting that. But thanks for sharing. So inspiring me. So inspiring. Um, so let's move on to, I know we spoke a little bit. I was asking you what type of accounts you trade. So
Mhm.
you do prop firms. Could you share a
Mhm.
little bit of why you do prop firms and if you trade also live capital as well? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I do trade prop firms. I don't feel like I'm at a level yet where I can trade my own capital. So I've been trading, well, I started with options trading and I did trade my own capital and I learned very quickly that I needed to pivot. So it was really, prop firms was just a no-brainer for me. It was just a way for me to scale without risking my money. So I love prop firms. Even if I had access to the capital, I feel like you can scale better with prop firms. I don't think I would ever stop completely using prop firms, even if I had the live capital. But that is the goal. The goal is to eventually move to my own capital, but I'll still be trading prop firms even then.
Yeah, I agree. I had a little stint of trading my live capital, a little small account, but I blew it. So I'm gonna stick to props for now. I also know we had a discussion of that you have moved on to, this was outside of the interview, but you let me know that you trade 150K accounts. I'm still on the 50K as
Yeah.
a newbie, but what made you decide that you were able to shift from 50K to 150K? Like when did you know you were ready to scale up with your prop size?
Um, well, for me, it wasn't really about scaling up. I was blowing accounts all the time, every week. So I felt like something needed to change. I needed more room for error as I was learning. So I mainly switched to 150K because of the bigger drawdown. Um, and that was really my main reason. I needed more room to make mistakes without blowing it as quickly because, as you know, when you blow an account, it's your emotional toll. It takes an emotional toll on you, and you go through the trading day the next day with a clean slate and without feeling like, oh, I can't blow this one. I just blew one yesterday. So it's really just a way for me to give myself more freedom to make mistakes with that bigger drawdown. And it's been great because I've now been able to grow into that account. I have more room for bigger trades because of that. And now that I'm more disciplined, I can add more contracts and, of course, get bigger payouts because of the bigger account. So it's just been a great account for me to grow into. I find that I'm not blowing accounts as much because it's a bigger account.
That makes sense. I've gone back and forth with needing some more drawdown, but then I'm not, my risk management isn't tight enough. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to stay with the 50K until I get a little bit more discipline. But I love that perspective. I think I'm getting close to be able to try the 150K accounts.
Yeah,
Um,
they're more expensive, so you definitely need to have the discipline to not overtrade because I did get
yeah.
into that where I got into overtrading because I had that bigger drawdown and I could make more money and at the same time I had more room for mistakes. So I had to dial it back for a little bit and think like a 50K account while trading the 150K.
Yeah, that's good. So when trading prop firms, do you have any specific prop that you think is the best beginner friendly or rules friendly, end of drawdown, trailing draw, like what prop would you suggest to somebody or what do you use to trade props?
I actually use Tradeify personally. I love the 150K accounts. I think the rules are great, especially for a beginner trader. Not having the trailing drawdown is huge or the daily loss limit on some of the accounts. I trade the select accounts, the 150K. They've been great. Easy to get payouts. There's no really crazy rules you have to follow or rules hidden in the terms and conditions. So it's just been a great account for me to get consistent payouts from.
Okay, I agree. That's what I like to use is the 50K, but I got to get to the payout, okay?
You'll
But
get there. You'll get there.
so I think to wrap it up, is there anything that you would like to leave the new and struggling trader with, like advice that really kind of helped you overcome that hump of, staying stuck or blowing accounts to finding some type of rhythm to successful prop trading?
Yeah, I felt like I had as much information as I could possibly put in my brain. I knew how to trade. I had a strategy, but really what was missing for me was discipline. And when I changed my routine, I changed discipline outside of trading, is really when everything started to click and make sense for me. I started with 75 hard to really jumpstart me into a discipline routine. And I can probably say that from the day I ended 75 hard going forward is when I started getting very consistent with my trading. Completely scaled back on over trading as well. So it's really if there's only so much information you can put in your brain to where it becomes information overload and you start to kind of paralyze yourself with your trades because of all of that information. And you really have to start looking outside of trading for what is stopping you from being consistent and profitable. And someone told me if you can't be disciplined for yourself outside of trading, how are you going to be disciplined when you're in a trade? And that really gave me a huge perspective. And, you're right. If you can't show up for yourself, why would you all of a sudden have the discipline to trade and follow your rules when you can't do that for, your health or just for yourself in general? So that is probably my biggest piece of advice is get disciplined with yourself outside of life and you'll definitely find consistency with trading.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. It's been such a pleasure to interview you and get to know you. I know that you also have started a Discord recently. So if you just want to share with the viewers like how they can find you, where they can reach you, or a little bit of like what goes on inside of your community, if you
Yeah.
could end with that.
I very recently started a Discord and my Discord isn't a signals group. It's really more of a trading environment and community. I wanted a space for traders to think and not just follow alerts. And we focus on process, on discipline, reviewing trades. And most people are really looking for someone to tell them how to trade or what trade to take. And I'm really all about teaching people how to trade and how to think like a trader. So that's really what my community is about. I live trade a few times a week. I answer questions. It's all free. So yeah, join my Discord if you want to get to
Awesome.
know me.
So thank you so much. That was
Of
great.
course. Thank you.